Shalom, Misery. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure all the sound is working. Shalom, Misery. Give me 1 second. All right, the sound is working. Looks good. All right. All right, Shalom, Israel. There's the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding Janet Yohana. And since 1969, the Isupk has been bringing out the truth of the Bible and telling all so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives that they are the true descendants and rightful heirs of the Bible. A lot of people may not want to hear that. A lot of people may not like to accept that. It is what it is. Also, before I get started, we are not affiliated with any other Christian. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite organizations, Christian churches, Catholic churches, Muslim mosques, any other type of organizations. We are not affiliated with them. Isupk stands alone by themselves, and everybody knows that here is the home of the truth. And this is where, if you want to learn about the Bible, this is where you come to learn. With that being said, this the Israelites. There's the Isupk Brotherhood class for Southern Illinois. I am precinct officer of 500 Azanyala. With you today. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and tell everybody. Usually in my classes, when you enter, a lot of times I would tell you to go ahead and make sure that you get your Bible together. Make sure you get your Apocrypha. Sometimes you see it. Get your Apocrypha. And also obtain yourself a Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. I don't know why it ain't showing, but all right. Definitely obtain. That's crazy. There you go. Zondervan Bible Dictionary. You will need all these things because, when you're going through the description and that, and you're trying to, break everything down, you probably need help with a specific word. Definitely you can look in there. And all of a sudden, the whole sentence will make sense because now you know what that one word actually truly means biblically. With that being said, this Isupk Southern Illinois Brotherhood, this Southern Illinois class is actually new, and we're trying to build it up. So if anybody can, like, share, subscribe. Also, if you have any questions, just go to the comments and ask your question. And if I can answer it, I'll definitely go ahead and answer for you. But if I can't answer it, I will tell you, I don't have the knowledge of that answer, and I'll definitely come back to you with the answer. I'm humble enough to say that sometimes if I don't have the accurate answer or if I need confirmation on it, I will always go back to somebody who's above me and definitely get the answer. So that way I can teach correctly, appropriately, and, that way, my integrity is never in question in these classes. With that, I know there's a lot of things that go on in the world right now and all that, but I just want to go ahead and show a video of it just came up on my TikTok. It was the algorithm and stuff, and it was some Israeli, some Jewish men, and they were really disgusting and how they were treating a particular person. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna bring it up. And what happened was they were just being real just real evil towards this person, you know what I'm saying? And when you see something like this, it's like it's gotta be told, or it's gotta get the exposure that it rightfully needs. Pro is ready, man. Okay, I got it. Let me present the screen. Salaki. Oh, it's ready. All right, this is why we say not only the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of, but this is also why we say that the Jewish man is an imposter. He has no integrity. He has no type of standards. He's a disgusting bastard. And that's all I can really say about that. You know, he usually shows his own character himself, and it's up to everybody just to go ahead and observe it, acknowledge it, and understand that, wow, these people are actually kind of disgusting. So let me go ahead and share this real quick. So, all right. Let me see if I can bring up the whole screen because I know it's easier like that. All right, here's the whole screen. I'm gonna go ahead and play it, and you guys let me know what you think. Even though these the Arabs are not our people, you know what I'm saying? Regardless or not, this is how they treat anybody just because they feel like they're uh they're superior. And a lot of times when you're greater than some people, you can always let them know you're greater than them with humility, with humbleness. And you can tell that this is just arrogancy. This is just a whole lack of disrespect they spew out of their pores, out of their mouths, out of their conduct. And I'm gonna go ahead and play this real quick. So right now, it's one Arab woman surrounded by a whole bunch of Jewish people, and they're basically mocking this woman, making her feel bad that they're saying death to Arabs. First off, from what I know in the Middle East, these Arabs are going through a horrible time on their own. That's their country. That's who they should be defending and stuff. I get it. Well, how you say they're going through enough over there for these Jewish people to be continuously battering them and mocking them and making them feel bad, even though they're going through so much. It just shows their character. So I'm gonna keep going with this video. Look, they even pushing on him. Look, that's a whole bunch of grown men surrounding this one woman, and they're pushing on her. Come on, man, y'all some grown men. There ain't no reason why y'all need to be pushing on a woman. If y'all want to go ahead and try to flex on some men, go ahead and do that. But no, this is a simple woman just trying to get to wherever the hell she needs to go peacefully. You know what I'm saying? Like she's already, like I said, the Arabs are already battered and all this stuff. She don't need to be going through a lot of extra uh extra BS in her life. Damn, look. You see that? They even threw an orange traffic cone at her. These people, they're vicious, you know what I'm saying? They have a superiority complex, and and it just shows that they lack, true Israelite culture. They're not the people of the Bible, and it shows, and they're exposing them more and more every time you view them or you see them. I'm gonna continue this video, but this is what they're doing to one woman. I say that's a group of maybe 50 to 100 people, and even though this is also an Arab who's also another oppressor, don't get it wrong, but this is how they treat people in general. All right. And with that video, I'm just trying to show everybody that those people, those Israelis, those Jewish people lack, decency towards anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, us as Israelites, the true Israelites, we uphold ourselves in a very dignified way. Integrity, humility. Yeah, we may say the white man's the devil, the Bible speaks, but that's what we're supposed to say, because look at what he did to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. He really put a real beating, a real hurting on us for hundreds of years. I'm Puerto Rican, so I know that my ancestors been a slave since 1492. We never really had our land back since then. It's always been oversought by another nation. First it was Spain, and then they sold it to the United States. So basically, we got pimped by one country to the other country, and that's how we can actually see it. Just because somebody speaks Spanish doesn't mean that they're your people. And a lot of Hispanics got to understand that, whether you're a Puerto Rican, whether you're Cuban, Dominican, Ecuadorian, anywhere in South America, if you speak Spanish, understand, just because somebody speaks Spanish, which is your oppressive language, because that's not your true language that you first spoke before the Spaniards came, you definitely got to understand that just because somebody speaks Spanish don't mean that they're your kinfolk. They could be actually an oppressor. If they have that Spaniard blood in them, that is the devil the Bible speaks of right there. And that's why I showed you that video right there, because there's derivative of Caucasian men. You got the American Caucasian, then you got the overseas European Caucasian, which is the British. You got the Germans, you got the Yugoslavians, the Ukrainians, you got the Russians, and so on. Just like you got derivatives of Hispanic, you got the Puerto Ricans, you got the Cubans, Colombians, Dominicans. That's how it is. Same thing with the Native Americans. Natives, you got the Cherokee, you got a whole bunch of different Native Indians too. You know what I'm saying? It's different tribes. Same people, different tribes. With that being said, there's a few more videos that I want to show you on these nasty Jewish people that I never want anybody to forget. The next one is a couple years ago, they were hiding an underground tunnel in New York under their mosque. Let me see if I got it. There you go. Let's see. Let me go ahead and bring it up. Sloppy. Share screen. Right here. Let me see when it comes up. Give me 1 second. And there's the thing about the Jewish man. They're disgusting. They're like little alley rats. They're real horrible people. And a lot of people need to start understanding that, and start understanding that, these cannot, just because they claim something, they cannot be the Most High's chosen people. Let me go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. Look at these little alley rats right here. I'm going to play it right now.
9 people have been charged in connection to all of it, ranging in ages from 19 to 22 years old. The Brooklyn District Attorney accuses the individuals of obstructing or refusing arrest. 9 people have been charged in connection to all of it, ranging in ages from 19 to 22 years old. The Brooklyn District Attorney accuses the individuals of obstructing or refusing arrest.
Okay, let me see if I got another one. I know I got another one too. Slacker. All right, let me stop this one. The next video I'm going to show about these Jewish people is how they do one of the brothers in how they do one of these brothers. Watch. I'm going to go ahead and present it, but first I'm going to go ahead and give you a scripture real quick, because this always needs to be said. So let me go ahead and grab this real quick. I'm going to go to the Blue Letter Bible also. Go to Blue Letter Bible. I'm going to go to Revelations 2:9. And remember, this is red letter. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. That way everybody can follow along. All right. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. That's talking about the true Israelites. He knows that we're trying to work hard, try to do the right thing, try to believe in the right things. But with these Christian and Catholic churches and these Baptist churches and all that stuff, they don't give us the right information. We want to do the right thing, and those are our works. And we're trying to do the right thing, but we can't because we're getting taught wrong. That means we're going to go and inherit something wrong. We're going to teach somebody else the wrong way. So I know that works in tribulation and poverty. That's us. That means, you know what I'm saying? Like even in Revelation, it knew way far down the line that we were still going to be in poverty. If you look at the Israeli man right now, they're rich. They got a whole Iron Dome. They got a government. They have how you say, like they have a government. They have leaders. They have a military. That's not poverty right there. Right here in the first line, it says, I know the works in tribulation and poverty. That's us. But thou art rich. That means our spirit always looks for the Most High, even though when we could come out the womb and still be thinking about the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And we already know that, you know, we believe in the Bible. We believe in Christ. We just don't believe in white Jesus because we know that's a lie. So we have to be retaught properly because our spirit is at risk at this moment. You know, we got to really go ahead and try to find out what's a lie and make that quick change. That way we can go ahead and find out what's wrong, change it real quick, and get right with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get right with yourself, the Most High is going to be more pleased with you at that moment. So I know that works in tribulation, the stuff that we go through, and poverty, but thou art rich. And this is talking about the Jewish man, the Israelis. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. This right here differentiates the true Israelites who are going to be going through tribulation and poverty, but they're still going to be spiritual rich because that's all we ever think about. We could have two nickels to rub together and we still think about the Most High. We don't care about riches and finances a lot of time. Our spirit is rich because we always think about doing the right thing. Always think about, you know, what can we do better in the Lord's eyes, you know what I'm saying? And the Most High God in Christ's eyes. And we always have that instilled in us. That's like in our DNA. But if you look at the couple videos that I just showed you, those are the blasphemous Edomites, which is the so-called white man they're imposters. They're taking a whole other nation's culture, their literature, their historical records, and they're utilizing them like it's theirs. That's why it says right here, and I know the blasphemy, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. These guys are evil. You see the stuff that they're doing. They're over picking 50 people picking on one woman, and they're men. You see them, they got tunnels to do Lord knows what with them tunnels. You know, they have been found in a lot of criticisms and a lot of things that they've been doing, you know, in the past. You know, they're not upholding themselves the way the Lord's people would. So with that, I say I got another scripture, which is I should have left it on it. John 8:42. That's what we're trying to say when it comes down to these other nations. like the Edomites and stuff, they're not good at anything, but they like to take everybody else's cultures, their ways. You know, if you send them to Jamaica, they're gonna want to be Rastafarian, and you know what I'm saying, like, you know, they're about nothing. They have no great history. All their history is nothing but um uh rape, robbing, murdering. That's all they can do. But they have nothing that's good that they ever built or constructed amongst themselves. You know, but anything with this Bible, the King James Version, that is so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native records, historical and biblical records right there. And a way you can also get some more understanding about who the 12 tribes are. You can also look up on YouTube. Captain Kataza did a 12 tribes lecture. It was like 3 hours long, but for it being 3 hours long, it was very informational. You know, he got real detailed, and what he shares in there is biblical records, historical records, and then archaeological records. That's how you got to do this. You just can't look at something and be like, "Oh, it's ours." No, you have to go deep into detail. You have to go find. We're not just gonna say it because we're saying it. We're saying it because the brothers actually did the research. And I'm not just saying only me, but the brothers before me, you know what I'm saying, since 1969 and further, they did the research, the biblical, historical, and the archaeological research in order to prove these things. And by default, that shows that we are, because nothing else ever happened to any other nation in the way that happened to so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans. I'm gonna go ahead and get another scripture about those bastard Jewish people, because I think they're nothing but just bullies, you know what I'm saying? And that's man, it's just a disgusting way of just looking at them, and you just understand it's just disgraceful. So we're gonna go to the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 42. All right, damn. Slap. All right, let me go ahead and bring it up on the screen. Slap. I'll try to make myself small all the time, so that way you can at least see the screen when if you watch it on your phone or something like that. I'll always try to be more convenient with the viewers more than just looking at me, because looking at me is nothing. I'd rather you get the information first. So let me go right here. This John, the book of John 8 and verse 42. Jesus said unto them, "If God were your father, ye would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God, neither came up I of myself, but he sent me." So right here, let me go ahead and go back over it. Jesus said unto them, because he's talking to his disciples, if God were your father. So this shows that Jesus is saying, I'm not God. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the most high God. That's my father. If God were your father, so he's basically talking to the disciples. If God was your father, ye will love me. For I proceeded forth and came from God. I came from God. You know, I was the first one he created. I was the first creation. You know what I'm saying? That's what Christ was. He was the first created of the Most High God. That's why Christ is the Most High God's favorite son. He created him. He was the first creation, and he did all the works for the Father. If God were your father, ye would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God, neither came I of myself. He didn't come of himself. That's why a lot of times when I'm talking to these Christians or these Catholics and stuff, and they're telling me that Christ is God and stuff, it doesn't make sense. Right here, you can see it doesn't make sense. He's given honor and reverence to the Most High God before himself. He's saying, I came of him. He sent me. He gave me a job to do. I'm not here trying to do it. And I'm trying to give it to you, all you guys, but you guys can't even get the little bit that I'm trying to tell you. But a lot of times when Christ talked, he talked in a way where I'm gonna make you work for the information. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk to you in like in a way where it's not gonna be direct. You're gonna have to figure it out. But that's how that's how Christ spoke in parables. So I'm gonna read it one more time. Jesus said unto them, if God were your father, ye will love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Verse 43. Why do ye not understand my speech? Even because ye cannot hear my word. So right here, Christ is telling them, I'm over here talking to you guys, and you guys don't even understand what I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling you, I'm playing out, our regular talk all the time, and you still don't understand what I'm talking about. I'm here with you every day, all day. You guys hear me, you guys ask me questions, and you guys still don't get it. And that's back then. Why do ye not understand my speech? That's a question. Even because ye cannot hear my word. I'm speaking to y'all, and y'all ain't obtaining nothing. You guys ain't getting the exact examples that I'm trying to break down to you guys, and I'm talking to you guys directly, right? So move forward. John 8 and 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and although not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Don't be like everybody else, basically. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. All these other nations are the devil, you know what I'm saying? Deceivers. Basically, what devil means is deceivers. So don't be deceived by everybody else, because everything that they tell you, you're going to end up wanting to do. So if that person over there is if you're hungry and that person over there is eating shrimp or pork or something like that, you're gonna be like, oh man, nobody will ever know. You don't do what the other nations do because it's real deceitful. And that's what he's trying to tell them. He was a murderer from the beginning, and although not in the truth, because they were never given the understanding of what not to do. Only the Israelites, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, were given the truth in order to do the right things and know what to do and what not to do. All the other nations, they were eating like, I don't know, monkeys and elephants and all other type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put your trust in another nation because they weren't given the right understanding of how to conduct itself properly. He was a murderer from the beginning. And that was Esau. You know what I'm saying? That was Esau right there. And remember, he's talking not only to the disciples, but he's also talking to the Sadducees and Pharisees around here. You know what I'm saying? Because they were always behind him and they were watching him. So he's trying to explain to them, while my disciples are here and stuff, and I'm talking to the Sadducees and Pharisees, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and although not in the truth, because there is not truth in him, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Basically, the Sadducees and Pharisees they were the prominent figures, and they didn't even know what to do, the right things or the wrong things. They acted like they knew something, but when Christ came on the scene, he was telling them that you guys are like the oppressors. You like them Romans over there. You doing the same thing as them. You don't know the scriptures like you were supposed to know them. So since you don't know them, I'm going to explain it to you. You are like them. You are like the devil. You are like them. And the lust of them they will do. You're gonna go ahead and sell everybody out for greed, for money, for food, for carnal things, because you don't even think about your people. You only think about your own lustful desires. And that's what, I'm saying, we're talking about with these Jewish men. Those would be like the Romans back then. And we can't take on the same teachings as what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Remember, not only the Jewish man, but the white man here, they gave you a philosophy. Don't go by that. It has to be done, with a great understanding. First thing they did was they told you can eat whatever you want to. They tell you it's okay to be a homosexual. They tell you it's okay for women to go ahead and short their bodies and be whores. It's okay to do a whole bunch of this. They teach you how to you could shave your face. There's a lot of teachings in the Christian Catholic churches that are against what the scriptures are trying to say, because they have a narrative. Their narrative is to keep you as far away from your God, because if he's not with you, their kingdom can proceed and progress. So with these other nations being the devil the Bible speaks of, definitely don't go ahead and cling onto them like they're going to teach you something proper. You know what I'm saying? Don't be lust filled. They could offer you $100,000. Don't take the $100,000 to go ahead and break your integrity. That's what we need right here. We need more people who are going to stand firm rather than give up their inheritance. Okay, so I hope everybody understands that. You know what I'm saying? The Sadducees, Pharisees were there on the scene with the disciples and Christ, and he was telling them, don't be like them. And that's all I can say. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a prominent figure, if you're like a Christian, a Catholic pastor, you know what I'm saying? You should be learning from us, because we're telling you not to be like them, because all you're teaching is that doctrine that they gave you, that breakdowns that they gave you, and it's all wrong. So let me see. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and go to let me see, Ecclesiastes 7:13. But that's exactly what we want to do here. We want to make sure that we're not being deceived by any other nation. We can't do that. It's not a good look for us. We cannot go ahead and continue to take the teachings of people who don't want the best for us. You know how it is when somebody tells you it's okay, you could do that, and it's not the right thing. That's what we don't want to hear. That's what our people don't want to hear. You don't want to hear somebody tell you that it's okay to do something when you know it's wrong. You want somebody to tell you when something's wrong. That way you don't do it, initially. You don't even think about doing it. So if somebody tells you, hey, look, you can't go ahead and eat that pork chop and stuff, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh, you know what? I can't eat that pork chop, man. Take that and throw it out. There's many things that you can do, so that way you can proceed to do the decent thing in life. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not trying to please your flesh. You're trying to go ahead and please God. And Christ was on the scene to go ahead and teach us the right thing. So with him being our teacher and him showing us how to do the right thing, let's go ahead and try to move forward in doing it. Now let me go ahead and Ecclesiastes 7:13. Slap. Ecclesiastes 7:13. All right, 7:13. Let me see. All right. There's another scripture on for the Jewish man. Let me go ahead and present this. Oops. 1 second. All right. Slack it. Right, there's the book of Ecclesiastes 7:13. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? Okay, so basically, the Most High God made all these other nations crooked. And in him making them crooked, he made one particular group even more crooked than everybody else. And that was, the Europeans, which is the so-called white man. And he made them to be the most vile, disgusting individuals on the planet. They're not gonna care about anybody. They're gonna go ahead and eat whatever they want to. They're gonna treat people bad. They're gonna go ahead and try to unalive people, rape them, rob them, do everything. You know what I'm saying? They got every type of bad mannerism in them. With me saying that, I'm not saying to go to work and mistreat the white man at your job or anybody around you. If people are treating you decent, you treat them decent. We're not like them. You get what I'm saying? That's what I want everybody to understand. When we're talking about the white man, we're not trying to say to go out there and batter them and belittle them and shame them for all their stuff. There's a time and a place for all that. But if any other nation besides your own is coming to you, treat them how they come to you. You treat me cool, I treat you cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be better to my own. I'm not gonna treat you bad. I'm still gonna talk to you. I'm still gonna deal with you. I'll crack a joke sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still gonna deal with my own a lot better, because just like you care about your own on that side of the fence, I have to care about my own on this side of the fence. You guys have a military that backs you guys up. We don't have a military. You got a government behind you. We don't have a government behind us. We're trying to build that little by little. So with that being said, you got to understand that when you're dealing with any type of oppressor, if it's not a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native, you deal with them wisely. You go ahead and deal with them how they come to you. If they come to you cool, treat them cool. They come at you sideways, you go at them sideways. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes. But we're never saying go out there and go belittle, berate, and just because you're walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying walk down the street, oh, white bastard. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to say that. If they're not doing anything to you, hey, no harm, no foul. You got to live here too. We got to live amongst you. This is your kingdom. We got to live amongst you at this moment. And that's what a lot of us got to do. Just don't think that we're out there when we're teaching on the streets, when we're at camp and stuff. We're not, just saying things. We're teaching to the wind. Whoever hears it. Sometimes white people hear stuff that we say and it's a little bit offensive to them. That's cool. There's a lot of times that we say offensive stuff to our sisters and our brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll tell them to get away from a white woman, or we'll tell them to get away from smoking the weed, or get away from homosexuality and stuff. Everything comes off offensive because it's not in line with your conduct at that moment. So a lot of times everybody got to think it's not being offensive towards you. We're just saying things in the wind. If something clings to you, that means that's because it's bothering that demon in you. And demons are horrible, because how you say, like, it'll make you, irrational and out of character. A lot of times, you could just say, so, oh, you can't eat pork. Who told me I can't eat pork? I could do whatever I want to. Christ died so I can eat pork. A lot of times people will get out of body experience because that demon in them is so strong. You know what I'm saying? That lust for that particular thing is so strong that it doesn't enable them to understand decency for that moment. And so I'm just saying, like, a lot of times we say things in the wind that are offensive to white people. A lot of times we say things that are offensive to Africans. A lot of times we say things that are offensive to Arabs. But when we're out there at camp, we're saying things to the wind. Whatever they catch is on them. But we're saying things that are truthful. And a lot of times we say things that our own brothers and sisters will not like, that we tell them that they should not be doing. Like, girl, cover your behind. You know what I'm saying? Stop showing your chest. Stop showing your too much thighs or butt. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of people don't want to hear those things. You know what I'm saying? No matter where it's at, whether it's an oppressor or whether it's your own. So, you know what I'm saying? You just got to think, when we're out there, we're not only offending, oppressors. We also go against our own because we want them to do better than that. But with this scripture right here, Ecclesiastes 7:13, consider the work of God, for who can make that straight which hath made crooked? The so-called a white man, which is a biblical name, Esau, which is the Edomites. They've been crooked since biblical times, and it's always was going to be like that going forward. You can't change them. Who can make straight which he hath made crooked? Which God made them crooked. He made them to go off and do all type of silly things. You can't make that straight. You just let them be. And with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and drop that scripture and stuff. And let me see. I think I got another one. Oh yeah, and also, you know what I'm saying? There's every Friday we have the round table of truth. Definitely like, share, and subscribe to the round table of truth on every platform: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Definitely subscribe to the round table of truth, because we got Captain of 13,000, Captain Mark Quad on there, and he's always throwing out some heavy subject and stuff, and he really gets to the bottom of. I never seen nobody teach like, besides the generals and that, and the captains in the school. Since I'm on the Captain Mark Quad, what I'm saying, I definitely love learning under him, because he definitely understands these scriptures and he makes everybody better. He always has an answer to our questions, and he helps us be better men. And I love that. You know what I'm saying? He's been a great person to learn from, and I'm grateful for him. But definitely like, share, subscribe to the Round Table of Truth. And with that, I'm gonna go to Zechariah 7:13. Zechariah 7. But yeah, definitely tune in on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Let me see. 7:13. 7:13. Slocky. Zechariah 7:13. Therefore, it come to pass that as he cried, is this it? Oh, 11:5. So yeah, my fault. 11:5. Slocky, everybody. Shit. That was my fault. Zechariah 11. Zechariah 11:5. All right. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Every time you see these Israelis, these Jewish men, they are always playing victim. I didn't do nothing wrong. They're against us. We're so innocent. You know what I'm saying? But how you say, like, with us being the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives, and the true Israelites, we get brutalized every day, no matter if it's by the white man, or it's by any oppressors, So who possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Every time we get shot in the streets, every time we get brutalized, even throughout the last 400 years of captivities and before that, the possessors always beat us, killed us, or unalived us, and they said, oh, they deserved it. We're the only ones that they treat like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's a horrible feeling, because it makes you feel like you're rich in spirit, but you feel like you're less on this earth, because they hold a higher position in the kingdom right now, in society. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. And when that's talking about that, that's talking about like when we're getting shot down the streets, and we're getting brutalized and beat with batons, and how you say, like, we're getting put in jail at an alarming rate, and catching all these diseases. The Christian and Catholic churches, they don't care. All they care about is their own personal gain, that money coming in, and they could care what happens to that one person that ain't around. Because with that one person going to jail, with that one person getting killed or something like that, there's more going to come into the church, because they're looking for that hope, and that's all that they know. All they know is the church. But with them, learning from the churches, they're learning wrong. So what we have to do as, you know, you know, brothers and sisters in the ISBK, we have to go ahead and try to talk them into learning the right thing. So, us men, we're doing our job in trying to help others understand and try to pull them away from them strongholds. but it also comes down to our sisters, to where when you're dealing with somebody out there, it could be a friend, it could be a sister, it could be a relative or something like that. You know, you got to try to pull them away from them too. Just don't leave it on the men over here. Yeah, once you get their ear and stuff, you bring them to us, and then we'll go ahead and break it down with them. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times when we're on these streets and things are bad happening to us, this is the scripture for it. Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. They don't care. They put up their hands, be like, man, he deserved it. Oh man, he pulled something out of his. You know how many people got shot because they pulled their phone out, or they had a phone in their hand and they just got shot? It's like you asked for it. You asked for me to kill you. You shouldn't have moved. You should have just put your hands in the air faster, or you shouldn't have moved that fast. Like, they always got a reason to say, you know, I did this to you and it's your fault that it happened to you. So, you know, just be careful with your oppressors. You know what I'm saying? They're real disgusting, and they're always going to try to make you feel like you are the cause of your own BS. All right. And next thing I want to talk about is I seen a video the other day. It was about a young girl, and you know, it was horrible to see because she was only 18 years old, and I think it was like 2 days ago. Let me see if I can bring it up. And this 18-year-old was dancing on top of an SUV and died after falling and getting hit by a fire truck. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me go ahead and try to see what slide. All right. I'm gonna try to play it, but give me 1 second. Yeah, this was a crazy story right here, because a girl was just 18 years old, and you know, she was in the wrong for jumping on this car and trying to dance and all that stuff. But hopefully it plays. Let me go ahead and share this real quick. All right. No, not this. Let me share the screen. Let me bring it up. Well, let me read the story then. This was April 28th at April 28th, 2025 at 10:51 a.m. St. Louis. Gary News. An 18-year-old woman was killed Saturday night in St. Louis when she fell from the roof of an SUV and was struck by a fire truck, police said. The woman was identified as 18-year-old Nyla Simmons. Police said a Cadillac Escalade stopped at a red light around 11:20 p.m. Saturday. Simmons was reportedly dancing on top of the vehicle. Once the vehicle began moving again, a fire truck that was responding to a call. Officials said the truck had its lights and sirens on. Her parents remember their daughter as a social butterfly who loved a good time. They were at a loss for words trying to describe what happened to her. We aren't ever going to be there. We aren't ever going to be the same after this, her dad, Everett Simmons, said. Nyla Simmons' parents said she was attending a friend's prom send-off before the accident. We just wanted the best for Nyla. The incident is just tragic, the way she died, but that's what hurts the most, the way she died. Nyla was out having fun. That's what she liked, having fun, hanging out with her friends. Her mom, Latrice Simmons, said, now her parents are asking people to learn from her mistake. Don't blame the friends that Nyla Simmons was with. They say they were just teens being teens, and that no one could have guessed the night would end with the 18-year-old losing her life. We've all been young before. We all have done some type of thing where it could have ended up bad for us. Her dad said, we want all her people and her friends to take this and learn from it. Her mom added, don't get on top of a car. Y'all just don't get on top. Just be safe. Damn, it's crazy. Nyla Simmons was the youngest of five children. She graduated from Parkway North High School last year and was set to start cosmetology school at Grabber School of Hair Design on Monday. I'm highly distraught that I don't get to see what she was going to become, her dad said. Police said the investigation is on.
Nyla Simmons' family and
Oh,
friends are left remembering she was a social
okay, so there's a video. It's finally playing, okay? So let me play this video.
butterfly that loved a good time, doing just that last night when she lost her life. Now her parents are asking people to learn from her mistakes and be safe while having fun. It was around 11:20 p.m. Saturday night when a night of fun took a tragic turn. Once the truck took the left turn, 18-year-old Nyla Simmons, who was dancing on top of the car, fell off. Moments later, she was hit by a fire truck was responding to a call.
I just.
Less than 24 hours ago.
And it's a lot of people gonna miss her, but we ain't gonna never be the same. I'm still in shock right now.
They say Nyla was attending a friend's prom send-off prior to the accident.
We just wanted the best for Nyla. Nyla, the incident, it's just tragic the way she died, but that's what hurt the most, the way she died. When Nyla was out having fun, that's what she liked, having fun, hanging with her friends.
High school last year and was set to start cosmetology school at Grabber School of Hair Design on Monday.
I'm high on.
Her parents say they don't blame her friends. They were just teens being teens, saying no one could have ever guessed that the night would end up with Nyla losing her life.
But we all been young before. Yeah. We all done did some type of things where it could have ended up bad for us.
The parents wanting everyone to learn from Nyla's mistakes, hoping this incident can stop another teen from doing the same.
And we want all her people and her friends to.
Remembering Nyla Simmons as their youngest baby who lit up every room she went into.
Nyla was going to be an entrepreneur. Nyla was going to be great in this world, and it's tragic that she's not here.
Although police say the investigation is still ongoing.
Wow. So like I said, that's a heavy story because, the girl was just 18 years old. And with that being said, anytime you have kids, you want what's best for them. And when you want what's best for them, you definitely try to train them up at a young age to do the right thing and try to stay away from the wrong things. Maybe this young lady, she didn't think about the consequences and stuff, but to put yourself on top of a roof of a truck and losing balance, you never thought that might would happen. But, I bet you her parents told her that, way before, like, don't be doing stupid things that that might have a consequence. And it's just sad that, it had a horrible consequence where it actually ended up in her being unalive. But that's why we always go to this one scripture to where, her father, he looked like the mother and father looked like they raised her right. And, it's just something that happens with their own decision making that kind of like backfires on them. So, I'm gonna go ahead and go to Proverbs 22:6. Proverbs 22:6. Proverbs 22:6. Right here. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Basically saying at a young age, basically instill all the values and traits that you would like them to have. And hopefully when he gets older, or when she gets older, they will do the right thing because you showed them the right things. This family looked like they showed their daughter the right things. It seemed like she just made one very, very tragic decision, and it backfired, and horribly it cost her life. And a lot of who's watching right now should take this video and this information and really try to insert it into your teachings with your own children. You know what I'm saying? I know I will, because that happened a couple of days ago, and I would never want to have one of my kids on top of a vehicle, either dancing or trying to act foolish, and then something bad happens like that and they get ran over and unalive. So definitely go ahead and try to train your kids as best as you can, because even when we train them up and we teach them everything that they could possibly know, we're still hoping that they make the right decisions. And that's where it gets fearful as a parent, because you're hoping your kids always make better decisions than their friends or the company that they're keeping. I had one more video about them. I like to go forward, but I got to go backwards to show this video real quick. This was about those Jewish bastards. Give me 1 second. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to share this real quick. This is another reason why we say, that the oppressor is evil. You know what I'm saying? Watch this. Give me 1 second. It's gonna come up right now. All right, I'm gonna play it. Give me 1 second.
Man, don't touch that man. Call 911. Call 911. How can you do that to a man in a wheelchair? You're not hurt. The children were fine. I saw what happened. I was standing there.
Guys, stop. Stop, no.
Are you okay? No, you're definitely.
Nah, you violate. Nah.
Yeah. This man, his dogs did not bother me. He's in a wheelchair.
No, get out of my face.
You don't tell the man what to do. The dogs are muzzled. The dogs are not. Look at these dogs. They're asleep on their feet. You just violated human rights.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, let me get back to it. Yeah, that was crazy. I hope everybody's seen that video. With that being said, let me see. I got one more video to go over, and it's crazy because a lot of times when you're going through TikTok and you're going through all these social medias, you're gonna come across some things that's just weird to watch. So watch what these women say right here. Watch what these women say right here. Hit that song. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure it comes on the screen. All right. Is there a way to make this bigger? I guess not. Hold on. What the heck's going on? Oh, it is to make it bigger. My fault. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure that everybody sees this real quick. This was a disgusting video, but it's an eye opener because these conversations has to be had, especially in the world, because this is everything is a teaching tool. So let me go ahead and get this real quick. What is wrong with the damn sound? Sloppy, give me 1 second. Okay, bang.
Well, I've been sexually active for 20.
If body count doesn't matter, what's your body count, starting with Desiree?
Well, I've been sexually active for 25 years. So honestly, I'm not 100% sure, but I would say probably around 50.
I don't believe you.
You think it's more?
I think maybe 50,000. I want to say less than 10.
22. I think like 30.
Out of respect to my son, because he's watching the show, I'm not going to answer that, but I only say that I haven't been with a lot of men.
More than like 110.
Are you like a runner up for me? Come on, are you close?
More than you, yeah.
No, she said
More than me?
more than 200.
No, I wouldn't say more than 115.
How old are you?
26, 27.
I'm not going to say it on the internet, but it's single digits.
Less than 5.
This is for all of you.
Multiply it by 3, and that's the real number.
I'm so done.
Majority of the people in this country have no value. They traded their value a long time ago for money, specifically the women. And men, because they realize they don't have a lot of material, marriage material women in this country, the women in this country destroy the men. Remember that the girl here said before, oh, we're not in the 60s, we're not in the 50s. Yes, and it's really bad because in the 60s and in the 50s, women had values. They knew how to treat a man. And I'm not saying women necessarily have to sit at home and not work and just raise the kids. You can have your career, you can be ambitious, you can do things, but still majority of women in this country, they have a prostitute mentality, and it's really, really sad. A lot of the men, the older men that want to date younger women, it's either because they need to have a younger woman to have multiple children with her. I know because I know a lot of personally people like that. Second, women, like it or not, they like younger body, they like younger vagina, they like younger look. They like to go outside and be seen with a younger woman. They want something fresh that lasts for a long time. Even though with that being said, a lot of the younger women, when they get to like a age like 35, 40, they usually want to leave this older man. So a lot of men, let's be honest, a lot of men want to be with a younger woman. As much as it hurts to the older women, a lot of guys just want to fresh body, want to have a tight vagina that didn't go through pregnancy. Oh, okay. They don't want all the emotional burden. A woman in her 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, they already set their own ways, usually stubborn. So they don't want that. You work 1 hour a week, you spread your legs or whatever you do in OnlyFans, you think it's going to give you a future?
It's called capitalism. Honey.
No, it's not capitalism. It's prostituting in the camera. It doesn't matter if they touch you, smell you, whatever. They can see your vagina and how you giving blowjobs in the camera. This is something you could never take away. And your son, when he grew up, they're gonna tell him your mommy's a hoe. Oh my God, your mom did OnlyFans. You traded value for money, and you could be a cleaning lady, go clean 10 houses a day, 10 hours a day.
What the fuck would I clean? I'm almost 40 years
Instead of
old,
going
bitch.
and prostitute yourself, and your vagina doesn't hurt.
No, my vagina doesn't hurt. It's in very good shape. Thank you.
Really? I don't believe it. I don't believe it's in a good shape.
I don't piss myself or anything like you do, bitch.
What do I do?
Because I
do? You know why a lot of men laugh at women and treat us like we're idiots?
They're dicks.
Okay, no, they're not dicks. Majority of men have to deal with women like this. I'm sorry with disrespect, but if majority of men today have to choose to have the mother of their children, to build a life with you, to build a career with you, that you both can build something together for the future, to have a life with you, and you need to deal with somebody that have so many mental issues and so many body count, why would they do it? They'd rather be alone.
They don't give a shit, but men think.
I can't hear this bullshit, and I'll tell you why. You are mother to children. You're sitting here in the podcast saying, oh, I'm a baby girl, I'm a slave. I don't want to hear this shit because literally you're disrespecting your kid. You are mother before you something in this world. Your baby and your kid is the most important thing. You're supposed to protect them, love them, and protect them. It's not put yourself out there and talk about their mother like that, because you're humiliating them. I'm embarrassed as a woman to sit in a table with a woman like you.
Damn. Wow. That right there was amazing. That was a hell of a video, because that just shows that, you know, a lot of women need to go ahead and take more responsibility for their actions and the responsibility for, you know, who they're giving their bodies to. And, you know, a lot of these women out here today, they're not ashamed to say they've been with 5, 10, 15, 20 guys, when it really ain't supposed to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Your value is not in riches, it's with your with how you treat yourself. And, you know, a lot of women moving forward, you know, hopefully they can teach their daughters the right way, but you definitely don't want your daughter to have a 2 or 3 or 5 or 10, 15, 20, 100 body count. You know, try to go ahead and prevent your daughter forever going that particular direction. That right there could hold a lot of demons, you know, in her for the long term. So, you know, if you're gonna protect anybody, definitely, you know, teach your sons not to go ahead and you know, be with every woman. If he's gonna be with a woman, stay with that woman. And then with your daughters, teach them to have respect for their body. Teach them that that's the most precious thing that they have. That's why they said, you know, in the scripture that sex is marriage, because that's the most important thing you can give unto a man, is that body. You know, it's not a piece of paper that you get from the government. Your body is more important than that stupid piece of paper. And that's what a lot of people got to start understanding. If a lot of people were to think, you know, in that way, then, you know, there'll be a lot more honorable relationships between so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native in our own society. How everybody conducts themselves outside of our society, that's on them. But let's try to go ahead and see if we could do something different, because right now, you know, we're looking as shameful as you can ever imagine, that we cannot we can't hold our women to a high standard at this moment, because they are acting like that. They are acting like a real crazy, idiotic, brutish women with nobody can tell me what to do with my body. And, you know, a lot of times we're not trying to tell you what to do with your body, but, you know, you are shaming yourself. And if your mother didn't teach you that, then, you know, your father should have taught you that. And if your father wasn't in the house, you are a complete embarrassment to him. You know, that's a precious thing that you give one particular man, and that's more honorable than you going out and thinking that you could just throw your box and have a hot girl summer, or get it out of your system, whatever you guys want to call it. But it's a lot more honorable if you go ahead and teach your kids, you know, properly moving forward. You know, whether they be teens right now or young ladies and stuff, you know, try to raise them up into a way where they're going to understand it a lot better. I'm gonna go ahead and go to this last couple scriptures, and then I'm gonna get out of here because I got to go to slave in a few. I'm gonna go to Ecclesiastes. Give me 1 second. I'm going to take this one off. Ecclesiastes. Just lock me 1 second. All right, we can get Ecclesiastes 26:9. No, let's go to Proverbs 9 and 13. Let's go to Proverbs 9 and 13. You know, we always got to throw that one in there. Proverbs 9. All right, boom. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. So understand that these women we just watched on there was only one woman who had some kind of sense in that group. And a lot of times we got to understand that so-called Black, Hispanic, and women and so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native women are watching these videos and stuff, and the content they're putting out is like it's okay to do all these wrong things. But we have to go ahead and go backwards and start reteaching them and tell them that, you know, you can't be foolish like that to want to do these type of things. It's going to be shameful not only to yourself but to your kids in the future. You know, a lot of these women who are Black, Hispanic, Native, they have OnlyFans. They got naked pictures. They're doing a whole bunch of things that, you know, is going to come back to them. That just shows that they don't even understand that life moves forward. And the things that you do currently are always going to be shown in the future, or whatever you do currently is always going to come out in the future. So a foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple, and knoweth nothing. A lot of times you definitely got to go to a person who has a lot more understanding than you, sisters, and start accepting the right counsel from brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody, you know, wants to, you know, have you degrading yourself out there. There's actually brothers out here who want you to go and uphold yourself in the best way possible, not only for yourself but for your family. And that's what we do here in this school. In the Isupk, we actually try to teach women to actually value themselves, and not only themselves but their kids, and also value their husbands. You know what I'm saying? That's their number one. You know, if you got a good man around you, that's who you want to go ahead and value it, and you want to put on a pedestal, because he's going to show you the right things, and he's going to take away those sinful conducts and them sinful ways that you ever did. You know what I'm saying? He's going to hide all your shame, and you're going to be a better woman for it. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes 26:9 next. Now, I'm sorry, Slack, if I'm going a little faster. I'm just definitely trying to let me see. Let me see. Ecclesiastes 26:9. All right, 9. All right. Let's see if damn, I didn't even present it. Slovakia. Shit. No, I forget something. It's a lot of stuff to do all at once. So I apologize if I'm getting better doing this one step at a time. This book, Ecclesiastes, chapter 26 and verse 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. Yeah, a lot of times you could just look at a woman and just by her eyes and how she's looking and stuff, you could tell that she's looking real seductive. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of things on her mind that are real seductive, and you know, women really got to start doing a little bit better, because how you say, like, you could have that, but with your man. But if you're just going outside and you're just doing that to a whole bunch of random people and stuff, understand you're a thought. You're not upholding yourself well. Let's try the next one. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly. So if your daughter has no shame on her, definitely keep her as close as you can to you. So that way she will learn properly. Keep her away from if she has cousins who are acting real slutty or something like that, you want to keep her away from them cousins. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell her, okay, you know better. No, you know what? She can't even go with you guys. Just you stay home. Lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. You can't give a young woman too much liberty unless she has knowledge, unless she has the right understanding of how she has respect for herself, how she wants to conduct herself, how she wants to live her life moving forward. Because you don't want her eventually to make a horrible decision, and it backfires to where it affects her for a long period of time. And that's what we're trying not to do, is give our children, our daughters, not too much liberty, not too much authority over themselves, because we have to make sure that they're wise in every decision they're going to make moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women, they're spontaneous when they see a man. They're like, oh, he's going to be the one, daddy, this, and that. No. Get over it, baby girl. You can't be doing that. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Then the next week, she got another one she's into. And like, you can't have your daughter just being out there just trying to throw herself from 1, 2, 3. Every week, she got a different person she thinks she's into. But that's only because she's getting that little attention. And when she gets that little attention, it goes to her head. You know, the hormones start moving all around and stuff, and we all understand it. But we have to keep, you know, our daughters close to us, so that way they could sustain themselves and make wise decisions. You know, and instead of horrible mistakes. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I've been with y'all for a while. I'm gonna try to do some more. I'm gonna try to do some more classes if I can. But right now, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I gotta go to slave and stuff. But this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Hanna. Definitely tune in to the Roundtable of Truth on Friday at 8 p.m. Also, like, share, and subscribe to the Isupk Southern Illinois classes. And with that, I want to say the water for tuning in, and shalom.